Hello fella, welcome to the Lion's Den. We're getting straight into it. The 1000 subscriber mindset course. The entire point of this course is to have you come out the other end with a mentality to YouTube that is molded to get you to 1000 subscribers the quickest and in a way that doesn't actually compromise your video quality. Because as we walk through every epiphany and piece of mental reframing in this course, you'll realise the amount of tiny things that you probably don't even realise you're thinking, but it's actually holding you back from 1000 subscribers, monetization, and the first step, breaking the chains to actually one day get financial freedom, which I'm on the journey of as well, fella. These mentalities live on small channels below 500 subscribers, so we need to cleanse your mind of the bollocks, and we're going to make it quick because I don't intend on making this course an hour plus long. It doesn't need to be, so it's going to be to the point. I've had to face all of the things I'm about to bring up, and I had to change my mindset towards them in order to actually grow to 4,000 plus subscribers. Listen to this entire thing, because if you can reframe your mentality to be even 20% more effective than it is right now, that's setting you up for life, for not just growth in, views or watch hours, income, but every area of your life. This is effective and important to watch for anyone at any subscriber count. 200 subscribers, 300, 500, 999, 1000 even. This will help you get to 1000 subscribers, finally become monetized, and break that barrier of turning YouTube into a location independent job that frees up your time to pursue experiences, relationships, or if you're addicted like me, then it gives you more time to just work on YouTube with less stress, alright? Let's begin to shape your mentality into a 1000 subscriber winner. 100% responsibility. Imagine a guy called Fred that wants to get his YouTube channel to 1000 subscribers. If he says any of the following, it's impossible to balance this with a 9 to 5. The YouTube algorithm is punishing me. YouTube hates small channels because we just don't get pushed. He blames his flopping channel on anything other than his own actions. I can guarantee that Fred will fail in everything. When you decide you want to grow a YouTube channel, which is probably a childhood dream for a lot of you, you're signing an invisible contract saying that every win, loss, and stagnation that will occur on your channel is 100% your responsibility. If a video gets 1 view, it's because you didn't make a good enough video, mate. I'm sorry. If a video gets 1000 views, it's because your video is better than the other one. If your channel isn't growing, it's because there is a constraint in your ability that you need to figure out and change immediately. Even if a video gets demonetized in the future, which I guess you could technically blame on YouTube, it's still your fault because it's their platform. You should have had the foresight to see that this video would cause a problem. And I've got a personal story to hit this home. One day, I posted a video called How to Genuinely Unfuck Your Brain. And I didn't realise as I posted it that you can't fully monetize a video that says the F word early and in the title. So I got limited ads, which I'm fine with. But that's not YouTube's fault for being too strict. That's my fault for not keeping the rules in mind. To make things simple, every outcome of your channel is 100% your responsibility. It's just the law of cause and effect. Your behaviours will lead to an outcome. It's up to you if you want to learn the correct behaviours that will get you the best outcomes on YouTube. We just needed to clear that up before anything. Algorithm equals audience. There is no such thing as an algorithm. Immediately, right now, in your mind, replace every thought of the word algorithm with the word audience. If a video gets posted and it gets 10 views, which won't be possible if you learn from the YouTube growth course I made for you, then it's not the algorithm that doesn't like it. It's the audience. It's not the algorithm that doesn't know how to push your videos to people. It's the audience that don't know what the video is for, who it's for. When you get 50,000 views on a video, it's not because the algorithm loves you. It's because 50,000 people thought it was intriguing enough to emotionally take action and click. YouTube only pushes what is already seen as good in the audience's eyes. So instead of looking up how to optimize titles for the search engine, or how to create the most scientifically backed video possible, or those random weird videos that say, oh, the algorithm has changed in 2024, fuck all that, alright? Replace that mentality with, how can I make a video that attracts the exact type of person I want to watch? It's not YouTube data, it's human psychology. Learning how the human mind works, which we get into in the YouTube growth course, what makes people decide to click on something that they have no prior experience with, is what matters, not an algorithm. To make things simple, replace the word algorithm with audience and use that as the foundation when choosing what videos to make, what title, thumbnail, what hook, and how you teach your value. You're attracting humans, not numbers. If your video got no views, it's because either something or a lot of things about it are shit. I want to reiterate, if you post a YouTube video and over the course of a week, it only gets 5 views. Look, there is a tiny chance that it's actually a banger and it's just not been noticed by anyone, but it's more likely that the video is just not very good. I wouldn't personally tie too much emotional attachment to each individual video until you've at least established a base level of video making skill where you generally get decent views in the thousands. Right now, you just need to learn how to get better. Let's take a look at the word constraint, because this word is going to become your best friend and worst enemy along your YouTube journey. A constraint is kind of like an anchor. It's the one thing that stops the ship from sailing away because it's heavy and it's stuck in the ground. YouTube success is like a boat. At any time your channel is existing, whether you're getting 10,000 views per video or 10, there is a constraint that is holding back your content's ability for people to actually watch it and like it. It might be something more material, like your microphone is shit, but it's usually things like skills. How fluent is your editing? How good are your speaking skills? How much do you sound like you want to die when you record? Is your title and idea great, but the thumbnail is actually a bit shit? These are constraints that, when organised and improved on, will have a huge effect on your channel. For example, I actually have a story on this. It was June 2024 and my videos were doing okay. I'd clearly built up a decent skill level for titling, storytelling, because a decent amount of people would click on the videos, probably 2,000 on average per video. Because I'd worked for so long on improving everything, my scripting, my hooks, my titles, I did all the science, but the channel wasn't growing as quick as I thought it deserved. So I took responsibility and really assessed my videos. I studied every other channel in my genre/niche of productivity and self-development. I listed out all of the main reasons someone would watch them, their personality, or video style, or animations, or video length, and I came to a conclusion that changed everything for me. Everyone who is popular right now in my niche/genre is pretty much dead serious. They do talking head videos where it's just them and a camera. They're either long form unedited or highly edited, like, you know, Aman Ghazi style. And quite frankly, they're all fucking boring. So I thought, maybe I need to stop doing those videos that everyone else does, you know, the 5 to 10 minute videos where I tell a story, give value and call to act, I don't know, something like that. If I, for example, was the person in my niche that instead made the shortest but most valuable videos where there's no story. I'm just being very blunt about what works, and I make it less serious. I still keep my personality. Then I had a huge hunch that this idea would do well. So I posted a 48-second video on discipline where I did just that. That was the big idea, which we'll learn how to do later. And like I predicted, the video is currently at 22,000 views. That's about 15 times bigger than the previous video. That was my main constraint on the changes. The big idea. To keep it simple, your video gets no views because the video is failing or bad in some way. When you figure out the main constraint in your videos, you will see a huge increase in views, engagement, and subscribers. If you don't quit, you win. The scariest part of starting and growing a channel to its first 1,000 subscribers is that technically, whether you believe in yourself or not, you still, at least for me, I had no idea whether it was actually going to work. Who knows? You haven't proven yet that you don't have some sort of genetic disease that stops you from having a successful channel. Honestly, the most stressful part of getting the channel to its first 1,000 subscribers, which took, I think for me, 7 to 8 months, wasn't the grind, or the videos that failed, or the days I sacrificed seeing friends, or when I worked all day. It was actually just not knowing what the long-term outcome would be. Would it fail? In my head, no, obviously not. But you never know until you actually reach the goal. So, how can we confirm right now that you will win? I promise you, mate, if you take anything from this mentality course, I mean, it should be fucking all of it, but really take this one thing in. If you want to win on YouTube, so for us right now, that's hitting just 1,000 subscribers, which, believe it or not, actually puts you in the top 7% of all channels on YouTube. All you have to do is not quit. Because as long as you don't quit and you keep trundling away, making videos that fail or do well and correcting yourself, repeat, it becomes unreasonable that you won't hit 1,000 subscribers. Another hypothetical. If you're at 300 subscribers right now and you're averaging, 10 new subscribers per video and you're posting 3 times a week, quick maths, I wrote it down already. If you didn't improve your videos at all, forever, which is obviously impossible, you would still hit 1,000 subscribers in 23 and a bit weeks or 6 months time. And that, again, that's if you didn't improve anything at all, which is bollocks because you obviously will. Literally, as long as you keep it up for the next 6 months, you will win. The only thing that would stop that from happening is if you quit. Even if you slowed down tremendously and posted once every 2 weeks, just don't quit and you'll still win. Obviously, this isn't me condoning slowing down. My point is that the golden rule of success in anything, it seems, is that if you can stick to one thing every single day and not quit and continue to learn how to get better at it, it becomes unreasonable that you wouldn't get the result you want. So to keep it simple again, if you're unsure on when the 1,000 subscribers will come, just like everyone else, realize that all you have to do is not quit and the results will show up. Endure long enough to get noticed. Sometimes time is the only thing that will develop your content. Sometimes you need to make 100 videos before you figure out your big idea or how the TCE titling method actually works, and then it all clicks. But that still means you needed to make a fuck ton of videos before you saw any big results. With me, for example, my channel was the slowest growing thing, mainly because I didn't understand everything I know right now to avoid this, and I'm still learning more every day, which I'll put in these courses. But hear this out. To get the first 250 subscribers on YouTube, it took me about 5 months, 150 something days, June to November 2023. The next 250 subscribers took 22 days. The most recent 250 subscribers took a day and a half. Sometimes you just have to keep posting until something clicks and you learn something new and those synapses connect in your brain. Or just keep coming up with new big ideas, video titles, studying YouTube, and that's why this will make it way quicker for you. Sometimes you just have to endure long enough to get noticed. Because imagine if back in November 2023, I saw how slow the channel was growing. I mean, in fairness, relative to the time, I thought it was amazing. I was addicted from day one, so it didn't make a difference to me. But imagine if I was negative about it and I said, oh, you know what? Maybe YouTube isn't for me. That sounds disgusting now. Imagine if I quit back in November 2023, literal days before I figure out my first big idea that people actually started to like and the channel grew faster. I would have stopped a few steps before I got noticed. To keep it simple, all you have to do to get success on YouTube is not quit, keep working, figuring it out, and develop the ability to endure long enough to get noticed. With these courses, it will happen way quicker, but patience is still needed. That's such a powerful trait. Everything is a skill that can be learned. Do you know people in your real life that talk like certain things are set in stone? Oh, I'm such a lazy person. I'm really shy. I don't do well in social situations. My genetics make it hard for me to do well in London business. I hate this mentality. Not the people. Okay, maybe the people. Because what they're saying, they're denying themselves growth and change because they have this built-in belief system that's probably gone unquestioned since they were children, that certain things like personality traits, skills, are all things you're just born with. See, for me, I remember skimming through a book called Outliers, probably a couple months ago now. Trust me, this is relevant. And in this book, it described a lot of successful men in the past, and it basically debunked the idea that talent, natural talent, is what make people successful. It's just bollocks. And guess what, mate? Even if I'm completely wrong, and the book is actually total bollocks, or I got the wrong idea about what the book was trying to say, it still serves you and I better to believe that talent is what determines your success, right? Sorry, that talent, it still serves you and me better to believe that talent isn't what determines your success, right? Whoops, I said the wrong thing. It was around 7 to 8 months ago that I fully integrated a new belief system that everything is a skill that can be learned. If you have a tendency to be shy, you can learn the skill of charisma, because all charisma is probably 10 to 25 different micro habits or skills during and after and before a conversation that can be trained. Can you practice eye contact? Can you learn how to shake hands better? Can you train yourself to ask better questions? Can you nod more often and train yourself to butt in less? Yes. And now, when we look back at one of the earlier quotes I made up, I'm such a lazy person, we can reword how this is said so that you can actually fucking do something about it. I have a tendency to be lazy. For now, on YouTube, the biggest channels like PewDiePie back in the day, or MrBeast now, or Hamza when he was blowing up, Iman Gadzhi, none of these guys had talent, right? PewDiePie used to seem so charismatic on camera when I was a kid because he bloody practiced it. He's got 4,700 videos on his channel. He taught himself how to be an entertainer. And even if he was born with, let's say, a natural ability to entertain or make people laugh, he would have got crushed on YouTube if he didn't put the work in and practice. To keep it simple, everything in your life is a skill that can be learned or trained, even your personality traits, which we can define as a blanket statement that represents a bunch of mini skills. It serves you to just assume that talent doesn't exist and everyone is better than you. Use this to realize that you need to train the things you want to get better at, like being on camera, talking, humor, entertainment. All of it can be learned. Come downs, good weeks into bad weeks are normal. Since you want to grow on YouTube and probably turn this into a career, you've signed up to feel bad when the numbers aren't as good. And it's normal, so expect it. Recently, for the first time in my channel, 3 videos were catching attention at the same time. It felt amazing. 25,000 views every 2 days, and it was growing. I went up so many subscribers in literally a week. 3 videos were all getting thousands of views, and it's very easy for that to become the new normal, until it isn't. Slowly, you start noticing the numbers decrease every day, the graphs on the videos flattening out, and this happens. I'm not even going to tell you to not look at the stats, because for me, that's what makes going on YouTube and creating videos so addicting. If I just followed my systems and didn't track anything, I probably wouldn't be as obsessed with growing on YouTube as I am right now. So, to keep this simple, you will have fast days of growth and you will have slow days of growth. As long as you recognise that both are temporary and the come downs in between from fast days to slow days are inevitably pretty shit mentally, you will feel bad because it's normal and you signed up to it. Then I don't actually see this as a problem, and neither should you. Hate comments. Hate comments are from humans that have something bad going on in their personal life. And I'm not saying that as an insult, no. I'm saying it because we know that no healthy-minded individual spends their time writing comments of hate to strangers or even channels they've been following for a long time. It doesn't happen with people that feel good in their life. So be compassionate when someone rips into your video or you as a person or does a slur when it happens, because it will be inevitable. Again, this is what you've signed up to. How to know when a video is great. Later on in the YouTube growth course, which I haven't definitively named yet, so that's why it sounds so generic, we're going to talk about 2 channel changing systems. They are what we mentioned earlier, the big idea and also the TCE titling system. And both of those combined, at least for me, have provided a tested and proven system to get a video to at least 1,000 views. But recently, it got me to 20k plus and another video to 90k, and it's all because of those 2 things. 1, how it's titled. 2, the big idea behind the video. Now, we're not going to explain those 2 things right now per se, but even to this day, and when I was first growing the channel, I had a constant question pop up before every single video I posted. The question was, is this actually a good idea? Was the video interesting enough or fresh enough or desirable, curiosity invoking enough to get them to watch? And I think recently, I finally figured out the mental framing for that important question. I want to tell you a short story about something insane that happened recently, and you'll probably slap your forehead when you hear the ending of this story. It is mental. Like I mentioned, I meticulously looked at everyone's channels and tried to break down the gap I could fit in with my own channel. And I had the theory that if I really shorten down my videos, add a playful tone, but also keep it to the point and purely value driven, then the video will become one of my most viewed. So I made that video about discipline. It was 48 seconds and I posted it. And it really worked. It's at 22,000 views as we speak, and it seems to still be growing. And that's in only 6 days. And amazingly, this brought in a bunch of new people commenting on my channel. And one day, I just wanted to engage with some of them, so I put out a community post, which we're not actually going to address in these courses because I think it's entirely subjective whether you should do community posts. It's up to you. And I asked everyone, what is your main goal right now? And some people commented, including one guy. In his profile picture, he was in a suit, so quite distinct. He stood out. He looked pretty British, like he could have been a lad at my senior school. And he commented, I want to start posting more on my channel. So I decided to actually look at his channel because I get it. I've struggled with discipline. I don't anymore, but I understand that pain. And I saw his channel had one video about how to train hard or something. So I clicked on it, skimmed through, and I thought, you know what? I want to try and support him a bit. So I actually left a comment, which I don't usually do on videos these days. And I wrote, I hope to see the next video soon. Or something like that. I don't remember exactly. He responded very gratefully. I actually subscribed, and I thought that was the end of it, expecting to probably see a video come up fairly soon on my feed of his new video. And bloody hell did that happen. Now, I've told this story to a mate recently, and I didn't want to spoil anything for him either accidentally. It was at this point that I showed my friend, for some context, a screenshot of the video I made that ended up getting 20,000 plus views. I'll do the same for you. Give it a good look, right? Not the most original thing ever, but distinct to my channel. It's got my face. I didn't base it on a thumbnail I'd seen. I just kept it simple. Now, a day later, I'm making a coffee or some shit, and I decide to go on YouTube on my phone as I'm stood by the kettle. You know, it's whistling away. I open up the app, and immediately I'm met with something on my suggested page, like a big slap in the face. What the hell am I looking at? It's a video that's titled just like mine, thumbnail just like mine, and it's by the guy I subscribed to. He copied my video, and I didn't know how really to react at first. Should I comment? Because I knew how I felt. I had to grind for a year to figure this shit out, and now someone's just stealing my idea. I guess, well, welcome to YouTube, but that's actually when it really hit me, mate. Oh, I don't need to reply or get angry or anything, because this is how I determine whether a video idea is genuinely great or not. When I'm coming up with the big idea or building video titles with my method, I can just ask myself now, Kian, is this video worth copying by other people? And if it's a yes, and I can really imagine stealing this idea, then that means it's a good idea, boys. So, to keep it simple, if you're unsure whether an idea is good, just ask yourself, could I imagine this video being copied by other people in the future? If it's a yes, and nothing but a yes, then it's a great idea. Your belief system is the guiding compass of your channel. If you don't believe the channel can do well, or you're not good enough and you can't change, or there's something genetically wrong with you so you can't grow on YouTube, then you're right. You won't grow. The way to build confidence in yourself and your ability to grow on YouTube is to, I'm not asking you to say affirmations or some bullshit. All you have to do is build up a portfolio of evidence. Have you got 1 subscriber? Yes. Okay. Can you do that 1,000 times over? Obviously. Have you posted 1 video? Yes, you've proven that. Can you do that 100 more times and improve one thing slightly every few videos? Yes, of course you can. Okay. You have proof that you can succeed on a micro scale. Just replicate using what you'll learn in the YouTube growth course, and it becomes unreasonable for you to not hit 1,000 subscribers. If you've got proof you can do 1,000th of that result, you can do the whole 1,000th. Innovation is the heart of YouTube growth. If 1 video did well, try that formula again because you have something that wins. But don't let that scare you into never testing different ideas, because that is how we grow and don't become irrelevant. As I previously mentioned, I sort of found a winning idea with the short video about discipline. But even though I'm going to keep doing that because it's a formula that clearly worked, I'm also not going to make that my entire channel. That's a recipe for death on YouTube. Imagine if PewDiePie was still playing Amnesia to this day, or, I don't know, Mr. Beast was still making Counting to 1 billion videos or something. Their channels would still probably be big, but they wouldn't be as relevant and their viewership would be a lot smaller. To keep it simple, do what works, but don't give up trying what's new. And also, before we actually end this course and move on to another course, if you're going to watch the next one, there are a couple things that, as I was going for a walk earlier, I emailed to myself because I just thought of like, oh, these were some limiting, weird belief systems that I had when I started the channel. And anything, starting self-improvement, literally anything in my life. And it really fucked me up. So I want to address these right now. You might be thinking in your head, oh, what is the optimal routine that I could do to grow my YouTube channel? Should I listen to the online podcast that say that I should get sunlight in the morning? Should I wake up at 5 a.m. every day? Should I drink water first thing in the morning? Should I exercise before I work before I do the work, or should I work before I exercise? Should I eat bread? Look, I'm just going to say this right now, mate. I used to fixate on a lot of this stuff, and it definitely served me well to some extent. I was growing the YouTube channel at the time. It wasn't fast. This was around late 2023 when I had like 300 subscribers. But look, the question of what routine should I do is actually mostly irrelevant, because think about it, mate. What are the main things that will get you to 1,000 subscribers, to become monetized, to take the first step to create a life of financial freedom or financial independent location, traveling, go on holiday, all that shit? It's not the routine you do, all right? It's not if you get the 5 minutes of sunlight. That won't be what gets you to 1,000 subscribers. It won't be getting the full 9 hours sleep. And again, I'm not saying all of this is a bad thing. All of it's very healthy. The only things that matter when you're growing your channel to 1,000 subscribers, the core tasks you need to focus on, whether you're getting sunlight or not, whether you're waking up at 5 a.m. or 1 p.m, it doesn't matter. If you are posting videos, creating videos, and learning how to make better videos, that is the only stuff you need to be doing to get your channel to 1,000 subscribers. You don't need to have this crazy routine, or be on NoFap, or be having a perfect diet. And also, all of these things, including, oh, what about my screen time? What about my screen time? None of this matters, because if you're getting those core tasks complete, which you can do, by the way, it's a limiting belief to think that you can't do something if you've had a wank the night before, you've had a high screen time when you woke up. You can still do the work before, afterwards, not during, but all of this. You get what I mean? The routine is irrelevant. When you can figure out whatever you want to do. My favourite routine to do is just wake up and work. That's what I do. And as long as you're doing the core task, create, post, and learn how to make better videos, you will get to 1,000 subscribers. It is completely detached from what your screen time is, what bad habits you have, what time you wake up, how much sunlight you're getting. It does not matter. Because the other two questions I wrote down is, what if I still have bad habits? Irrelevant. Obviously, I want you to fix your bad habits. I'm always working on fixing my bad habits too. But your bad habits don't stop you from getting 1,000 subscribers. They're not connected. They're not attached. Now, obviously, if you've got loads of bad habits, that can make it harder to work, but you can still do the work regardless. You could sleep for 2 hours yesterday and you can still do the work today. Doesn't mean the work will be as good or it's as easy to work, but you can still do it. I want to really knuckle this down into your head, in your skull, all right? The only things that matter to push you forwards towards your goal, monetization, 1,000 subscribers, enough watch hours, whatever it is wake up, work, create videos, post them, learn how to make better videos. That is it. And it doesn't matter if you woke up and you had a wank or you scrolled on your phone for 3 hours. It is irrelevant because you can still do the work. Thank you. The 1,000 subscriber secrets course. If you watch through this entire course, not only will you get to 1,000 subscribers at probably a tenth of the speed that it's currently been taking you, and you can finally become monetized so you can reach that first step of one day achieving financial freedom, but you're also going to be set up with all of these secret tools that took me an entire year to figure out in the span of a single course. And not only that, you'll be able to hit 1,000 subscribers even faster because I'm going to provide templates for the title and thumbnail section, so you don't even have to use your brain during this initial phase of growing your channel. There's literally nowhere else on the internet that you'll find all of this 1,000 subscriber information in one place, and will eventually get you to 1K with monetization and a loyal subscriber base. And I want to give some context on how learning all of these 1,000 subscriber secrets affected my channel. Well, it took me 5 months to hit my first 250 subscribers, which I thought was bloody rapid at the time. But the next 250 took 22 days. That was last year. But since learning all of these secrets about human psychology, the secrets of YouTube titling and ideas, and how to actually build up someone's desire to watch your video and also take more value from it, everything really picked up on my channel. Again, the first 250 subscribers took 5 months. The most recent 250 took a day and a half. And this secrets course will fast track your channel no matter what skill level or how early you are into growing your channel. Like I said, every important technique will be laid out to you on a silver platter, and everything I say will be backed by real results and the results of others. You don't have to be smart or a genius to start doing these. You don't even have to be thinking, let's be honest. I'm going to take you through, in order, step by step, how to take your channel from underneath 1,000 subscribers to building up your technique castle to reach the 1,000 subscribers faster than anyone else you know. Because there is no way, I mean this, there is no way that anyone else you know knows this who is under 1,000 subscribers. Should we begin? Yes. There is no algorithm, just people waiting for content that will captivate them. I brought this up in the 1,000 subscriber mindset course, and it's 100% true. When I was younger, trying to grow an Instagram business, I used to look up all these videos about how to grow in a new Instagram algorithm. I'd note it all down. Okay, yep. Oh, more hashtags. Yep. Subtitles. Okay, that helps. Oh, putting some invisible text in the video will help the algorithm see it. And I never grew. And that's because the word algorithm is bollocks. On YouTube, if you're growing a channel, I want you right now to forget about any algorithm thoughts or stuff like that, because the only thing that matters to get you to 1,000 subscribers and well beyond that, and growing an audience that actually leaves comments, is the real world person that is clicking on your video. It's not robots on YouTube giving you views if you use the right hashtags. It's real people that want to be compelled by something to click it and gain some value in their lives, whether that's new information or they just want to laugh. Whatever. There is no algorithm, just people waiting for content that will captivate them, and what gets pushed out there is reflected by that. If your video bombed, it's because people didn't care about it. If your video gets no comments, it's because it didn't invoke enough emotion to make someone leave a comment. To keep it simple, replace the word algorithm with person, and you can only grow to 1,000 subscribers if you prioritize making videos that will attract a certain person. But if you're still new to YouTube and making content, then who are we actually even making the video for? This is what we'll cover in the next section, because figuring out the exact person you're creating the videos for will create more views, more engagement, and yes, more subscribers by default, because you're no longer speaking into an empty void of the algorithm. You're talking to humans. The dream viewer. The absolute first step of growing a YouTube channel is figuring out who you're making the videos for. Not only will this get you to grow an audience way quicker, like I said, but it will also make it easier in the future to sell a product if that's what you really want to do, because your product is there to solve a problem for a specific person too. Your dream viewer is kind of like a bullseye on a dartboard. If you want the greatest and quickest results, the quickest path to 1,000 subscribers and monetization, then you want to be hitting the bullseye consistently. In other words, you want to always direct your video at the same dream viewer. So let me share my story of how I did this, where I figured this out, and then I'll give you a template document to figure this out yourself too. Learning in excruciating detail who your dream viewer is will make it 1,000,000,000 times easier for everything else that will come up in this course. How to come up with ideas, the titles, thumbnails, scripting, stories, everything. And it's not exclusive to education channels. Even a gaming channel will benefit hugely from this. In June 2023, I started my YouTube channel, and I had recently been reading a book called .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. And in that book, he said that in order to start a business, he needed to know who he was selling to. Because if he was making a product that would only help old people with bad hips, for example, then he needed to know who that is. Otherwise, he might accidentally waste a lot of time and money and effort advertising to people who wouldn't be helped by his product. So he wrote down a document about who his dream customer was, the person that would actually want to buy his product. He gave them a name, a photo, and listed out all of their dreams, their desires, their personality traits, their pains, the dark things they think about when no one else is around. He figured out, thought for thought, what this person needs and all of their objections and literally everything, a whole person. Then he used this avatar to advertise his business product. A few years later, he was holding his own business event and it was completely packed out. People in the crowd were wearing t-shirts of his company name. They're fans. And then he did something pretty cool. It was pretty cool. He said to the crowd he wanted to read out a profile of someone in this room. And if anyone thought he was talking about them, they had to raise their hand. So he started reading out the dream customer file he created a few years back. And when he asked people to raise their hands if they thought he was talking about them, almost everyone raised their hands. You see, I'm telling you this because by knowing who you make videos for, you will not only grow way faster, but you will connect to people and you'll collect die-hard fans. I'm going to show you right now my own dream viewer file. And if you've been around my channel, since fairly early, then it'll be interesting to see if any of this rings a bell with you. Maybe you deeply relate to this character. And that's the power of a dream viewer file. Here are the template questions I want you to write down when figuring out what specific person you're making your videos for. It can literally just be a younger version of yourself, or even something as random as a middle-aged woman in Amsterdam, or anything. You can make it broad or as specific as you want. This will make everything else in this course 100 times easier, I promise you. So I really wouldn't skip doing this, and especially because it will make you hit 1,000 subscribers quicker. The category you are in, your high street barbershop. Whether you like to think about it or not, mate, there are two realities about your channel right now. One, you are currently inside of a genre/niche, weird word, based on your current video topics and interests. So you are part of a larger group of YouTubers that all talk about pretty similar things and talk to a similar dream viewer, which is why it's important to have your dream viewer. And two, you are in constant competition with all of these people for your dream viewer's attention. What I'm saying is kind of like real life businesses. I'm sure you've walked down a high street near you where you live and you've walked past a barbershop. In fact, where I live, there's 5 barbershops all within a 1 mile radius. I'm not joking. 2 of those barbershops are literally a few buildings down from one another. Now, they are all in constant competition with one another because they all do haircuts for, a similar price. They're all close together and they're all surrounded by the same people, meaning over time, those local customers will choose for themselves which barbers they like the most. And I've used, I think, 4 out of 5 of these barbers, and I'll tell you exactly why I've stuck with the most recent one for the longest. In my eyes, they win the competition for me, but we'll explain that. It's the closest barbers to me, but also they're the calmest, as in they're not loud and hugely talkative. The haircuts are fast and involve just the right amount of chat for me to like talking with them. They always smile and wish me a good day afterwards. There's a small sense of community in the barbers. They sometimes have their family hanging about, and they compliment me sometimes about my hair, so, vanity. All of this combines to make me choose them. But that doesn't mean the Essex lads down the road that wear the tight jeans and talk about the football a lot don't also have a great barbershop. It's just not my style as much, and I don't like football. And I'd rather just get in and get out. This, my friend, is exactly how YouTube works. If you have a self-improvement channel, for example, then you are competing with, not even exaggerating, at least 1,000 other small channels below or around 1,000 subscribers that all give similar advice, that all tell stories, that all do those talking head videos in their bedroom. 99% of them all create the exact same content with the same topics, and I guarantee that 99% of them will fail. Or they'll keep going until 5 years from now, where they realise everything I'm about to teach you and they get angry because they've been stuck at 1 or 2 or 3k subs for 5 years. To make this simple, you and 1,000 other channels are trying to attract the same dream viewer, which means you're in competition, mate, whether you want to admit it or not. If you don't stand out, you stagnate, which basically is death for a YouTube channel, a small YouTube channel. And in the next section, I'm going to show you exactly how to stand out from the crowd to become the barbershop that loads of people go to through preference, regardless of the amount of barbershops out there. And we're going to do this by introducing the big idea. The big idea, how you stand out. In this section, you're going to learn a truth that involves so much common sense that you're going to be pissed off that you didn't learn it sooner. But the advantage of this secret is that for some reason still, almost no one in your competition is doing it, which is good for you. And this is how you will stand out and grow faster than all of them to 1,000 plus subscribers. I want to introduce to you something I like to call the big idea. To explain it, let's go back to the 5 barbershops. Why the hell are they all still in business? Why wouldn't everyone just pick the best barbers with the best looking haircuts and fastest haircuts? That's definitely important. But just like your YouTube channel, people don't just show up to these barbers for results. Hear me out. They show up because of the vibe, the energy, and the execution of the haircuts they prefer. Literally the building they're in. Like I said earlier, I go to my barbers because they're kind, they have a small community atmosphere, they don't talk loads but we still have nice chats, they compliment me sometimes, and it's straightforward. But lots of people go to the barbers with the Essex lads who like football and talk about TV shows. I went there many times in the past and I get it. They are lovely guys, great guys. One of them went to my boxing match, not because of me, but they just showed up. It's irrelevant. I just personally prefer this current barbershop. And just down the road from them, There's a very small barbers I've never been in, but they're different too, just from the offset. The outside is plastered with comic book and film references from Star Wars, Spider-Man, Superman, all that shit. I wouldn't be surprised if I walked in one day and it was ran by comic book nerds. Are you noticing a trend of differences here? Each of these barbershops, despite offering probably a very similar or the exact same product, have drastically different reasons you'd want to go there. If you love football and TV, you go to the Essex lads. If you love films and comics, you go to the nerds. If you like peace and quiet and knock off pop songs on repeat because they haven't paid their music license, you go to my barber. If another barbershop opened up tomorrow with, more Essex lads who also like football and TV shows, I don't know if it would stick around as much, or I don't know what would happen. Same goes for the comic books and my barbershop. Because if you're going to be part of a market, there needs to be a reason that I choose you over someone else. And this is exactly what the big idea means on YouTube. For your channel, let's say you make self-improvement content. If you want to be one of the top in the YouTube industry, that means you're up against people like Hamza, well, maybe 2 years ago, Iman Ghazi, First Man, Kenny Bender, I think his name is, Jack Piggott, Far From Weak, and they all have their own barbershop quirks, or in other words, they all have their own big idea. A big idea is basically the 2 to 3 traits or factors that make them and their videos distinctly different from the next channel in their genre. For example, Hamza, when he was growing really fast, was different to everyone else because he acted like, the Asian alpha male who could get girls and spoke to you like an older brother. No other guy had that exact style on YouTube until they started copying him. And on top of that, he was the only channel where you could see those Jeffrey Adonis animation stuff and the quick edits. Then, for a more modern example, there's Jack Piggott, who's nearly at 1 million subscribers right now. And he's like 17 or something. His big idea is that he's, the good, relatable Australian teen that tells emotional stories about girls, porn and life. And he uses very simple subtitles, emotional music and B-roll shots to tell these relatable stories. He may not be one of one anymore, since so many people copy him, similar to what happened with Hamza, but he is at the top because he was the first, and he is one of one. Why the fuck would I watch another channel of a relatable teen who tells emotional stories with a bunch of B-roll and subtitles when I can just watch the guy who does it first and does it better and also has more social status / authority / proven results? And this is why so many small channels are stuck. Again, for example, with self-development, how many channels have you seen, if you watch self-development, that all do those unedited talking head videos where it's a teenager with no hair in the thumbnail and it's titled something like, "It's time to go all in," or "Don't tell your friends about self-improvement," right? They cannot expect to grow when there's 50, that's a big understatement, 500 other channels doing the exact same style, and probably better, and they're all copying one big channel that gets 99% of the views anyway. The way to fast track your journey to monetization and 1,000 subscribers is to discover your big idea right now. The thing that separates you. And here's exactly how to do it. It's actually really simple. By the way, you can still use the video topics of bigger channels, but we will, discuss that. The big idea. 1. Figure out your niche / video genre. Let's say your channel, again for the example, is mainly self-development content. 2. Find 10 to 15 of the biggest creators in your niche and list them out in a document. 3. Go through each of the biggest channels and figure out these 4 main things. What is the main part of their personality / vibe? Are they funny, serious, alpha male, nerd, a woman? What is their editing style? Is it uncut talking head? Is it fast edits? Is it like this weird 80s retro style edits? How long are their videos on average? Is it between 5 and 20 minutes? 10 and 30? 1 to 3? And finally, how do they provide their value? Do they give you bro science? Are they a licensed professional? Are they a doctor? Are they an old man who gives big wisdom? Do they take lessons from other people and teach you them? Figure out these 4 for all of the top creators in your genre. Then, moving on, 4. List out as many different ways that you can carve a gap for yourself within this YouTuber ecosystem. For example, don't just copy this because you're meant to be unique. That's what I was meant to say. But I personally realised that every self-development channel do videos between 5 and 40 minutes. They're long, with stories, and pretty much all of them are dead serious individuals. So I decided to try and carve out a gap for myself by doing videos that were to the point, but still playful, and shorter than a minute long, cutting through all the stories and the bullshit. And I posted it, and it's currently got something like 38,000 views in a week, and it's now my second highest viewed video. Now that's cool. This is how you can make yourself fit into your YouTube niche without having to struggle for views and money for years. If you continue to copy your favourite YouTubers, I understand and I empathise with being influenced by them, but it won't work. Because why would I watch a MrBeast copy when I can just watch MrBeast? So we've established the concept of the big idea. This alone will immediately set you apart and fast track your path to 1K. But it doesn't stop there, obviously. You will go through many big ideas throughout your YouTube lifespan. One year you could be the no-nonsense space enthusiast that tells 1-minute space stories in front of a fire. But the next year, you might prefer to drop your guard a little bit and become a bit more humorous and laid back and film in front of your truck while you tell an hour-long story about space expeditions gone wrong. I don't know. Whatever is the big idea for now won't always be the big idea because things constantly change. To make this simple, make your barbershop different enough from everyone else that you earn your spot in the market. In the same way that you go to your favourite YouTuber for their specific big idea, their style, their personality, people should be going to you for an equally similar amount of uniqueness. For your information, if you do self-improvement stuff, if I see one more video where you talk like Hamza, I will punch you. Where to find ideas and know what to post about. Moving away from the big idea, we're now going to discuss what to actually talk about within the big idea, as in, what do you talk about on your channel? Where do you get the topics? How do you know those topics are going to work? What if my topic is a topic that no one cares about? This is what we're going to walk through now. And I've actually found a system to never run out of video ideas that actually interest people. And it's honestly really simple, mate. For basic information, since you inevitably fall into some sort of genre or niche or video, the best thing you can do this very second to come up with ideas is, once again, go on the top 10 YouTube channels in your genre, go onto their most watched videos, the popular section, and note down all the main topics on their most viewed. I'll give some examples, once again, for self-improvement. Some of the constantly working topics include NoFap, discipline, habits, semen retention, self-improvement, as in that term is in the title. But there's also a second style of topic that does well that you can get ideas from. But these are the trending topics that, instead of sticking around, come and go depending on what's popular in the niche right now, this second. For example, in self-improvement, I brought it up earlier, there was a recent topic of video that started doing well about going all in. Many people titled their videos like this. And to be fair, a lot of those videos did better than their usual videos. But especially if they also incorporated the big idea of their channel. Problem is, these topics are a little bit harder to come across because the best way to figure out what is trending in your niche is to just go on your suggested page and just keep scrolling until you see something unique show up that is part of your niche on a small channel, but is also performing really well, like 10,000 plus views. If you can find a video that's performing that well and it's on a small channel and it's part of your niche, chances are the thing that they're doing in the title is working and it will work for you. To come up with consistent ideas, list down in a document every single topic that has high engagement and shows up on the most viewed videos of other channels in your niche. But arguably more importantly, if you've got no experience with those topics or you actually don't care about those topics, you don't have to make videos about them. I don't ever make videos these days about NoFap because I just don't care. Underneath this, create a second list of topics that are trending right now, but only right now. This obviously will be a constantly changing carousel of a list. Now you have two separate lists of topics you can pull from and make videos about. And you at least know that there is an audience already looking for this type of content. One list for topics that always work and one list for topics that currently are blowing up. I would always be on the lookout for suggested videos that pop up from really small channels that just get a lot of views, because it proves that this topic really is working, and it's not just getting views because the channel is already big, for example. However, obviously if you just take a topic and rehash the same video without the big idea for your channel, yeah, you might get some more views than usual, but it won't massively grow your audience most likely, because they could still just watch the other channels that talked about those topics first instead of you. So don't forget to incorporate your big idea, the thing that separates you. But this also leads on to the next section, because there's 1 million videos titled How to Get Good at NoFap, or How to Go All In, or How to Stick to Good Habits on YouTube, and none of them do well. And imagine what I just said, but for your niche if you're in a different one, because those titles are shit. But once you combine great titles using a proven system that constantly gets me personally over 1,000 views at least, mixed with a big topic, mixed with the big idea, it becomes very, very likely that the video will perform amazingly. So let's now learn how to title videos effectively. How to create replicable video titles that fill up entire stadiums of people. I'm not going to waste your time. The reason people click onto a video is because of 3 things. 1, you take something they understand or know, the topic. 2, you add something to this known topic to create and build curiosity. And 3, you use emotion to convince them to click. To make it simple, 99% of titles that are successful use the following formula, and write this down because this will get you to 1,000 subscribers. Can't fucking say it. 1,000 subscribers probably 10 to 20 times quicker than you are right now. The formula is known topic plus curiosity plus emotion. The known topic is something they are aware of. If you're a Minecraft channel, the thumbnail or the word Minecraft alone is the known topic. If you're making a video about the villagers of Minecraft or zombies, the words villager or zombie are the known topic in your video. Let's move this over to self-development now to come up with examples. I made a video that blew up relative to my channel titled Habits Building System I Wish I Found at 18. The known topic in this title is the word habit. Another video that blew up for my channel was How to Force Yourself to Be Disciplined in 48 Seconds. With help of the big idea, obviously, the shortness and bluntness of the video, the known topic in this title was the word discipline. I'll throw up some more examples too from other channels in a variety of niches that used a known topic in their title, and sometimes thumbnails to get people to watch. Second of all, curiosity can be explained like this. Curiosity is an emotion that creates a gap between what you know and what you want to know. If one of your friends, for example, called you up today and said, "Oh, you'll never guess what David did with his shoes in the club last night," first of all, it's pretty much determined that you're going to say, "What? What did he do?" Because this combination of words creates discomfort in your mind. Curiosity. The known topic is your friend David, and you want to know what he did with his shoes in the club. Shoes and club are the curiosity invoking things here, plus the implication that something wild happened, plus obviously your friend David, you know him, so you're curious anyway. Again, let's come up with some random examples that I'll make up on the spot of a known topic plus curiosity that would definitely get clicks, alright? First of all, the real life cult living in a Minecraft server. The known topic, Minecraft and the servers. Curiosity, there's a cult? A real world one in Minecraft? That feels pretty interesting to me. I'm actually quite impressed that I made that up on the spot. Another example. My video that blew up, habit building system I wish I found at 18. The known topic is habits. Curiosity, a building system, and you wish you knew it younger? Why? It's the known and the unknown that make you want to click. You want to close the gap between what you understand and what you want to understand. You know what a Minecraft villager is, but if a video title came up saying, "These early Minecraft villager designs are horrifying," you might be interested enough to click. And finally, emotion. Curiosity itself is an emotion. But if you add another emotion on top, which a lot of the time happens by default on YouTube titles, it becomes even more likely that someone will be forced to click to find out more. Emotions that typically dominate titles are desire, fear, or humour. An example of a known topic plus curiosity plus desire include habit building system I wish I found at 18, how to build an aesthetic body, no BS guide. An example of incorporating fear into a title would be The Darkest Lost Media, Volume 2, or Disturbing Things Around the Internet, Volume 14, or The Internet's Darkest Corners 4. An example of humour in a title could be POV, Toddlers at 3 a.m, or POV, Toddlers on Leashes. I'm going to say it again. Combine a known topic with curiosity, with emotion, which usually falls under 3 of the emotions, desire, fear, or humour, and you have a winning formula, at least for your titles. Because if you have a great video title, but your horror channel is just a knockoff to Nick Crowley, a big horror channel, then it will still never reach the heights of a Nick Crowley, unless the packaging is absolutely insane. Combine your big idea with this title formula, and I'd be really confused if you didn't at least get between 1 and 10,000 views. So, how can you start using this titling formula straight away? Well, I'll create a template document with over 100 title templates that all incorporate different emotions. Of course, unless we're in a call together, it's up to you to replace the blank spaces with the known topics and the curiosity gaps that make sense for your channel. But if we're on a call, then I will help you construct these. Don't forget this, mate. The golden ticket to YouTube titles. Known topic plus curiosity plus emotion. And by the way, this is also more flexible than I'm saying. I'm still learning it myself. Sometimes the known topic will only show up in the thumbnail, or vice versa with curiosity and emotion. There are videos out there that could literally just say, the scariest 32 seconds of my life. But it's the thumbnail that makes you realise it's a Minecraft horror video. And by the way, the reason I keep bringing up Minecraft as an example is because I really do believe that Minecraft YouTubers come up with the best titles and thumbnails out there. And even if you're an education channel that's teaching, I don't know, old women how to knit or something, I think you should still dive into the Minecraft genre and study the amazing titles they come out with. Okay, I'm going to admit something. The Minecraft horror niche kept showing up on my suggested, and I honestly became a bit obsessed with it. This was like last month, and I'm not even a gamer, not since I was a kid, but these videos made such an impact on me and made me so curious that genuinely I re-downloaded my old Minecraft shit and I did play the horror mods on it for a little bit. Yes, I know, I'm 22, waste of time. It was fun for the couple hours it lasted. And that's the power of a great title. If you want to learn how to get really good at making titles that can fill stadiums, there's only 2 real ways. 1, keep making and posting videos where you're practicing new titles, and do it so often that one day you're not bad at it. You're actually quite good, and it's reflected by getting thousands of views. 2, go through your suggested page every day, wait until a title stops you in your tracks and catches your eye, no matter what genre, write it down in a document and try to reverse engineer why it caught your eye by writing about it. That's what I do. Anyway, let's move on to learn how we can create easy thumbnails that match the power of your video titles. How to create replicable thumbnails that possess people into clicking. I'm going to keep this section short because I'm still trying to learn how to make better thumbnails myself. So all I can share so far is what I know for sure about making thumbnails that possess you to click. And it's actually quite straightforward. So far, I've discovered 2 laws of thumbnails. 1, the thumbnail should directly reflect the emotion the title is trying to convey. And 2, the title should only incorporate things that heighten the emotion or the curiosity you're conveying. So, for example, when I posted the habit building system I wish I found at 18 video, at first I couldn't figure out really why it was getting so many views. But there's always a reason why a video is getting views. I was young and vulnerable back then, but now I know the answer. The emotion in the title was one of desire, a habit building system. People desire consistency and being disciplined and sticking to good things. The thumbnail is literally a picture of my habit tracker that was full of ticks, consistency and discipline. What people see in that thumbnail is what they desire. And on top of that, the text on it says, don't need discipline. I'm guessing that makes people feel desire and curiosity too. It must do. Wait, no discipline? So it's easy to do this. And I'll pull an example, another one, from a very famous video from Hamza Ahmed. How to build an aesthetic body. No BS guide. The thumbnail was probably made in Microsoft PowerPoint, and it's not even Hamza's own body, but it does exactly what I said. It conveys and heightens the emotion of the title. People really want to look like the guy on the right, but they probably look like the guy on the left. They desire this change so much, so they click. It's really straightforward. Another example from my channel. How to force yourself to be disciplined in 48 seconds. The thumbnail is just two things, with a little bit of my face in the background so you can tell it's by me. David Goggins, and text saying, world's fastest guide. David Goggins is who a lot of young guys desire to be like. Plus, he's also very motivational. Emotion conveyed in the thumbnail. The text says, this is going to be fast, so it can't possibly waste their time. And it also implies that they can become disciplined very quick. Desire. Emotion conveyed in the thumbnail. And this is about the depth of my knowledge on thumbnails right now. Moving forward, I'm always going to make thumbnails that reflect the emotion of the title or vice versa. And I'm going to keep doing that as I pick up better ways of making thumbnails. So how do you make titles that reflect the emotions of the title? I mean, how do you make thumbnails that reflect the emotions of the title? For desire, take images and videos of things that people really want. For fear, do stuff like this. And for humour, the thumbnail must convey a chuckle. Something that makes the potential viewer laugh. That is all. To make it simple, thumbnails are there to heighten the emotion and curiosity of the title. Scripting. Hook, story, value, CTAs. Look, all videos are scripted different. Some don't even have intros, some do. Some don't have stories, some do. Some don't even teach valuable points and just get everything across in a story. Others don't have any stories and just give straight scientific value. Yet, all of those videos can do well. There are storytelling channels. There are channels like Andrew Huberman, completely science-based. But still, there are general trends in videos that do well, specifically in their scripting. And scripting just means like, what did you write down? What did you say in the video? And a general framework that you can choose to use if you want. The point of YouTube scripts is to meet the expectations that the title and thumbnail created. So if the title is something like 1,000 Minecraft players trapped in the woods with Evil Bear, or wait, I said that wrong. 1,000 Minecraft players versus Evil Bear trapped in woods, you better hope that the first 30 seconds establishes the premise. The 1,000 people, the bear, the stakes, and why you should stick around until the end of the video. What would convince someone to stick around until the end? Well, I'll give some examples. 1, promise a payoff at the end. 2, promise that they will feel a certain emotion by the end. 3, promise that they will be changed or transformed by the information they'll learn. 4, promise the video will speed up their progress in something they're working towards. 5, promise the video will make their progress way easier in something. 6, promise something new they've never seen before. Stuff like that. These usually work really well, apart from the second half that I just said, in horror story videos or true crime stuff. But it also works for educational channels. The easiest type of hook for an educational channel is to 1, reaffirm the title by re-saying what the title says. 2, promise this will make their life easier, hit their goals faster, and is also done by successful people. 3, show the results that listening to this video will get them. 4, promise that this is new informational systems that they've never thought of or heard before. Because if they already know the info and it didn't work for them in the past, then the viewer is more likely to leave. Those are just some random ideas. I'm not saying you have to do them. By the way, don't literally use all of them. And also don't assume that any of these are needed. The most viewed videos on my channel started off with a joke and then went straight into a story. My second most viewed video just went straight into a controversial point on how to become disciplined. A lot of my videos that have 1,000 views just started off with a story, like my third most viewed video. So it's really not as strict as you might think. But what you definitely shouldn't do is start off the video with something completely irrelevant to the video title and thumbnail. If I clicked on a video titled 10 flirting tips for guys when they first cold approach, and the video starts off with a story about a guy growing up with his dad, and within 45 seconds to a minute it still doesn't mention anything about flirting or girls or approaching people, I will click off. That's happened many times. I'm not getting what I was promised, so I don't care. To make it simple, the intro to your videos can be fairly flexible, but make sure they're still relevant to your video's title and thumbnail. Next, we should address how to tell stories. So I'm going to put on screen my two favourite storytelling structures, the Epiphany Bridge and the Half Epiphany Bridge. The Epiphany Bridge, first of all, is where you start with a struggle you or a character had, but then you learn something from someone else, and you use this revelation, this epiphany, to change you or the character's life, and then we see the payoff from them changing. The Half Epiphany Bridge is the exact same, except instead of showing the full transformation, like when they started improving, you tell the struggle story, they find out the epiphany, and then you just jump straight into the value you want to teach. This is the thing that caused the epiphany and will cause you to get better. These two have served me very well, and you'll notice them everywhere once you learn the structure. Okay, so now let's move on to how to teach valuable information in a more compelling way, not a boring fuck off shit way. First, on a macro scale, that means larger, there's 3 main ways to teach something in a way that's interesting and digestible, and they all involve the information being split up into chunks so you don't just end up rambling. I mean, why do you think books all have chapters? 1. Numbers. Give a list of value. 2. Steps. Go in order, each bit of value, and how to implement it. 3. Frameworks. A skeleton made up of valuable points. Your framework might be something like Dead to Dangerous in 7 Days framework. 3 steps to get out of a rut. Or an example from my video about flirting is the VET method, V-E-T. 3 steps to flirt more effectively with a girl you're on a date with. These are 3 ways to make your value, well, more valuable. But what about if the information is actually really complicated? Well, let me show you how to make things easy for even a child to understand what you're saying. 1. Talk at a junior school level. For Americans or whatever, that's like 10 years old. If 10-year-olds don't get what you're saying, then neither do most adults, all right? We're all stupid. Something I hate most, I actually really don't understand this, why people do this. I hate it when someone talks to me and uses big words or terms that only they would understand, or they know that I wouldn't understand. I don't care, and I don't understand. 2. Use analogies. Example, instead of explaining the intricacies or the big words of how you market on YouTube, talk about some barbershops and how they're different from one another. 3. Use the "it's kind of like" technique. If you do have to use a big word like constraint, I immediately followed it up by saying a constraint is kind of like an anchor on a boat. It makes you understand what I'm saying easier, and it creates imagery in your mind that will stick for longer. Finally, let's address CTAs, or call to actions. These are kind of like walking around at the end of church with a donation bucket. See what I did there? Call to actions are things like asking your viewer to subscribe, or like the video, or click the link in the description to look at something. How do we do these? Simple. When you want. I personally don't do them a lot because I don't like overusing the goodwill I've built up with the viewers. Asking them to like and subscribe will be more effective, but I personally prefer them doing it off their own accord because they thought of it themselves. But yes, jogging them to take action doesn't hurt. It will actually increase the amount of likes or subscribers you get. One technique that makes CTAs more effective is if you ask them to take action and follow it up with a "because" statement. Because it's psychologically proven that if you add a "because" to any request, then it typically makes people more likely to do the action. So if you are going to say subscribe, then you might as well just say subscribe because I'm going to be posting more like this for you in the future, or something like that. And also, if you're going to do a CTA, then just do one. We don't need to bombard them with 5 different call to actions because it's annoying and confusing and takes away from the content. So here we are. To explain all of this simply, hooks, stories, value, and CTAs are the typical sections and structure of modern YouTube videos. You don't have to use all of these. You can happily just give the value or just tell a story, but it serves you to probably at least make the first 30 seconds extremely relevant to the video title. Now let's finally move on to editing. Editing, how to make it easier. I was talking to a guy the other day who's trying to grow his channel, and he told me it takes him nearly a month to fully edit a video. I checked his videos and they're around 5 minutes long, and they're mostly edited with GIFs, TikToks and some text. A month is way too long for that. So here are some ways I managed to edit my videos entirely and ready for posting in an average time of probably a few hours of just work. 1. Have everything I need, every B-roll, every song, every sound effect in one folder at all times on my desktop, ready to pull from as I'm editing. I did bring this up earlier. If you're constantly starting afresh and have to recollect the same clips and songs all the time, it would cut your editing time in half to just keep it all in the folder on your desktop so it's always there to use. 2. Use Parkinson's law to edit faster and more effectively. I already touched on Parkinson's law in the 1000 subscriber discipline course, so I won't expand on it that much. But if you want to produce better and faster work, set a timer that you think it would be hard to complete editing inside of, but still pretty doable. 3. Don't overthink it. If I hear the word dog in my video, I put a dog in the video. If I'm telling a story about myself in the video or about friends, I just pull up footage of myself or friends and put it in the edit. We don't need to do crazy effects or dive deep into finding footage online. Just use what makes sense at that moment of the script. Also, here are some tips for editing the first 30 seconds of your video. 1. Do not waste any more time. Get straight into your script. I don't want to see any animated countdowns, no 1 minute Call of Duty intros where the name pops up with dubstep. I don't want to see any black screens with music playing with no talking or like rolling credits at the start. Nothing. Get straight into what you scripted and recorded. 2. Text isn't necessary, but I guess it would help to put text on screen for the keywords you're trying to say in the intro. If it's a video about how you did NoFap for 30 days, you could perhaps put text on screen saying 30 days. It wouldn't hurt and might make the video more engaging, but it's also not a big deal. And that's really about it. I don't consider myself a good editor, but I care about getting it done fast and effectively and getting my points across in what I can see. And now you're at the end of this 1000 subscriber secrets course. So I want to leave this course off with a final message. The only way to learn is to do something. Do it a lot and learn things to implement on the way. This course has given you literally all of the tools you need to get to 1000 subscribers at the 10th of the speed it would have took if you didn't watch this course. But now you have to take action to actually learn how to implement these tools. As long as you take action and don't quit, you will win. Guaranteed. But this is why I've got the templates to help you. So an actionable step for this entire course, 4 of them, is to 1. Download the templates provided for the 100 video titles. 2. Download the templates provided for finding your big idea. I'm going to give you a bunch of prompts. 3. Come up with one big idea for your channel. Whether it actually is good or not, it doesn't matter. Just start doing the work and get better along the way. Remember, the big idea is directly connected to the genre of videos you do. And 4, the same goes for a video title. Using the video templates, come up with one title that would suit your channel. Well done, fella. You now know all of the YouTube secrets that got me to 4K and will easily get you to 1K, probably 100 times faster than I did. Nice. The 1000 subscriber discipline course. Here is the outcome you will get from watching this entire course and taking the actionable steps at the end. You will know the tools needed to develop a 1000 subscriber channel level discipline. Well, it's more like a 1,000,000 subscriber worthy discipline. I just need to prove that eventually because I haven't got 1,000,000 subscribers yet, but you will know the mindset needed to build and explode your discipline, because most people don't even know what discipline truly is, yet they use the word, so that will be clear. This information, once integrated into your life, will make you grow to 1000 subscribers, achieve monetization finally, and grow a really cool viewer base in probably a third of the time it's been taking you. Maybe even faster depending, how new you are to this. By the end of the course, you will know exactly how to become the person that is able to reach 1000 subscribers, and literally anyone can do it. I've never stuck to anything in my life apart from making music for fun until YouTube. and I'm only going to share what worked for me. The exact tools, the exact mentality. Here are my results of becoming disciplined using my own personal systems. I'm really grateful for the gifts that discipline and hard work keep giving me. And I used to be the opposite of disciplined. I couldn't even do 5 minutes of focused work a day. And just for reference, since waking up today, I immediately got up and scripted this course. That took maybe 3 or 4 hours, and now I'm recording it. Yesterday, excluding my food, my shower, and a walk I went on, I worked all day scripting, recording, editing, and collecting footage for the mindset course. I've worked on YouTube every single day for 12 months, and for the first 5 months of YouTube, I posted every single day without fail. That's over 150 videos. January 2024, I think I was posting 3 to 4 times a day, and again, early 2023, before I started YouTube, I didn't even know what discipline actually meant. So if I'm a guy that couldn't even make music without giving up, then you can definitely gain a lot of value from this course. And you're probably going to hear a lot of stuff you've never heard of or thought of. But I'm not saying that to brag. I just know what my mind was like at 19. And it didn't have the information I have now on how to just sit down and get the work done. This will get you to 1,000 subscribers, whether you're the laziest guy or girl in the world right now, you scroll on your phone 6 hours a day, wank every day, it doesn't matter. You will still get the result you want. Are we ready to jump in and immediately figure out what work you need to do and how to make it easy? Yep. Alright, let's jump in. The only 3 tasks that matter. To grow to 1,000 subscribers, there are only 3 tasks that matter. And these 3 tasks have to become your life, with no distractions until you hit 1K and become monetized. 1. Create and post videos. 2. Come up with video ideas. 3. Learn how to make better videos. Add consistency to these 3 things and just keep going. It will become unreasonable for you to not hit 1,000 subscribers. The growth course will teach you the individual systems and methods that will take your videos from getting 10 views to at least, a few thousand probably. But the point of this course is all about how to execute these 3 core tasks on a consistent basis until it feels natural to work on YouTube every day. Every other task is irrelevant for the time being. I don't want to I don't want you to touch a profile picture, banner, bio, share stuff with your friends, comment on other people's posts. Because that is just taking time and energy away from the real work that will get you 99% of the results you actually want, which is 1,000 subscribers, monetization, all of that. So to make it simple, the only 3 tasks you should do every day/week until you hit 1,000 subscribers are this. 1. Create and post videos. 2. Come up with new ideas. 3. Learn how to make better videos. And do it in that exact order. We will unpack how to actually do these 3 in the next course, but for now, fixate on these as the only things that must be done in your week. Everything else that is trivial, apart from obviously your real job, if you've got a job right now, you're at uni or you're studying, it must be forgotten about until further notice, okay? The entire rest of this course will explain how I personally executed these 3 tasks every single day for the last year, how I made it easy, how I made it effective, and how you can do it in the simplest way possible. Keep it in mind. Videos, ideas, and learn. The 1,000 subscriber timeline. The YouTube treadmill. There is a point in every YouTube channel's life where it suddenly begins to grow. The long hours of editing videos, scripting, coming up with ideas, going through bursts of 2 to 3 videos a day, and things start to finally connect. And the subscriber and view count begin to move. Something really interesting happens at this very point. It's called addiction. As soon as the numbers start to rise without friction, and you can actually start predicting how long it will take you to hit your 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, or whatever, it's kind of like hopping on a treadmill that can't stop. On one hand, you're excited. The feeling of positive reinforcement is strong, seeing the views, and you want to continue posting because it's actually rewarding now. But on the other hand, now you're on the I don't want to fall off treadmill, where your addiction to the numbers and the fear of failure join together to make you addicted to the work, This is actually what you're signing up for in the future. And I want to make it clear that, look, this isn't actually all bad. And you might be thinking two things. One, that's terrifying. If that's you, then maybe sit down and think about if you actually want to do this. Or two, that's great. Because maybe you're realizing that you won't need to use discipline forever. When momentum, discipline, and desire to stay on the YouTube growth treadmill combine, it will become easy to do the work. You won't technically need discipline forever. And addiction sounds like a horrible word, but I'm just using it to make a point. But it took me personally 5 months to hit that point on YouTube. 5 months of pretty much no growth, but still posting every single day to finally catch momentum, finally see my subscribers and views rise, and 5 months to really just have YouTube become an automatic response in my day. So the question is, you have a YouTube channel. You want to get to 1,000 subscribers. You know the 3 tasks you need to do, the 3 levers you need to pull weekly to grow on YouTube the fastest. You also know that when your channel catches a little bit of momentum with views, maybe in the hundreds or the thousands, and the subscribers begin to finally climb, that the YouTube treadmill will take over and working on YouTube will feel like eating chocolate. Except it's 100% healthy and makes you money. So, in the meantime, before you find the treadmill, which might be a month to a year's time, how do you stick to posting? How do you post every week or daily or just consistently for a long time when A, the rewards are slow or they're non-existent, B, it might take 1 to 12 months before you see any results, C, editing and scripting and recording are hard to do, D, I have school, university, work to worry about, or E, I struggle with discipline. I find it hard to post consistently. Guys, we're going to solve all of these problems in this course in order, only using real things that have worked for me and loads of other people too. So the mission for the rest of this course is, until you catch momentum, fall in love with the video process and no longer need discipline to get the work done, here's how to keep going in the meantime. The 1,000 subscriber discipline limiting belief speedrun. Limiting beliefs are beliefs in your minds that you may not even realize you have, but they stop you from achieving stuff like, what you want, growing on YouTube. We touched on most of them in the mindset course, but there's some that are specific to discipline that I want to speed run through and burst the bubbles that might be growing in your minds. Behavior superstitions. Bad habits like porn, video games, sugar, while bad, do not cut off your ability to work. I used to accidentally do a bad habit when I was 19, and then I'd go to bed thinking, shit, I'm not going to be able to work tomorrow, I've lost all my energy. If you think similar to my younger monkey self, let me ask you a question. 2 questions. Does it really serve you to believe this? And does it really serve you to believe that one wank or bad night's sleep or scrolling on your phone for 1 hour in the morning actually cuts off all your ability to get the work done after? These beliefs are superstitions, and self-improvement videos are at a lot of fault for having this influence on people, so I don't actually blame you. But I will blame you if you continue to keep these beliefs after hearing this, so get rid of them. You can be disciplined and also relapse on NoFap. You can get to 1,000 subscribers and still be eating sugar. They're not connected. And stop worrying about your cock so much anyway. That is a distraction. If this isn't relevant to you, then ignore it. But it is not part of the 3 tasks that will make you grow the fastest. If you can't work for at least 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, then something is wrong with you. That is a belief that I used to have. Addressing this is so important. When I was 20 years old, I thought I was disabled. Not like literally, but I would tell myself the night before, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do at least 2 hours of writing or music or whatever I wanted to at that time. But I'd wake up the next day, just go on my phone, procrastinate, and just never get the work done. Every time I would skip the important work, I'd think to myself subconsciously, but I'm so much better than this. Why can't I just work? And that's the problem. At 20 years old, I thought I was good enough to do the work. But discipline is a muscle. And if 1 hour of working hard is, let's say, the equivalent to lifting 60 kilograms bench press in the gym, I could only lift 30 kilograms right now. I wasn't good enough to do 1 hour of work. My discipline muscle, which is very normal for guys my age these days, wasn't strong. Not even 1 hour of work. I had no momentum, no work muscle, and my ego was too big to realise that I had to start working for less time every day. Otherwise, I was never going to get in a consistent flow of daily work. To make it simple, brain thought I could do more work than it actually could. Therefore, I would set too high standards for the next day and not do any of the work as a result. So if you're going to bed every night telling yourself, I'm going to change my life, tomorrow I'm going to sit down and focus for 3 hours, or even 1 hour, you're going about this the wrong way. Unless you're already disciplined and it don't matter. Discipline is a muscle. Treat it like you're at the gym. The only way to become more disciplined is to start off making your work sessions as short as possible. I started working for only 10 minutes a day in 2023, recording and posting, because that was all I was capable of. And it was still hard to do. But as I became more disciplined, the muscle grew from just doing the work over and over again. And now yesterday, for example, in July 2024, I literally worked all day, apart from eating and walking and showering. 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. It is genuinely a limiting belief to believe you're better than you are, because you're setting the bar too high every day, and then you'll fail. In the next section, I'm going to walk through exactly what I did in June 2023 at level 0 discipline to get myself through 5 months of no reward on YouTube, to still work regardless and catch my momentum in November and finally work my way to 1,000 subscribers. And you're going to learn it so much quicker than me. I'm jealous. The 1,000 subscriber discipline framework. I'm going to break this down very simply. Discipline is the act of doing something that feels difficult. The easiest way to do something that feels difficult, and especially when it will take a long time to see a reward, views, subscribers, is by implementing 3 main things. 1. Add artificial and fast positive feedback loops to the work so every bit of work feels rewarding. This can be done with task books, habit trackers, and the 5-minute checkbox system. 2. Reduce the time spent doing the thing. And 3. Make it the most convenient thing to do. 1. Add artificial and positive feedback loops to the work. In June 2023, I finally took the jump. I was 90 kilograms, still trying to conquer NoFap, and I had no clue what to do with my life. The logical answer was to make a self-development YouTube channel. What? I set up my new channel, added a cool profile picture, and sat down with my phone in front of me. Nothing else. Before I made a single video, I knew that growing on YouTube was going to feel like AIDS. Being a guy that had literally 0 discipline, or at least evidence of it in the past, I'd never stuck to the gym consistently. I'd never done anything consistently unless I was forced to, like school or street dance. I realised I needed to approach this in the most sustainable way possible and also make it fun for me. So I thought, well, YouTube will probably take a while to do well, so in the meantime, I'll at least make the work fun. Again, the work was going to consist of pressing record on my iPhone, talking about things I've learned, and then posting it. And I wanted to do it every day so it became habit. Okay, big task. How do I make it fun? Faster positive feedback loops. Faster positive feedback loops are like when you tell a dog to sit and then you immediately give them a treat. The reason this works is because they begin to associate the behaviour with a positive reward, i.e. getting food. I had to do something similar for myself, and I did this in 3 ways. 1. Task book checklists. It was around this time that I also started using a small A6 task book for my daily habits and activities. When I started the channel, I made it very simple. The night before, I would write down something like, record how to get closure with a girl video. Next to it, a checkbox. The next morning, I would wake up, take the task book with me, and record the video. Straight after, I would post it on YouTube, positive feedback loop, and then check it off in my task book, positive feedback loop, I can't even say it. And what this basically was doing was, just like a dog, training me to do a behaviour. Checking a task book is like when I used to play Black Ops 3 and go for diamond camos on the assault rifles. I needed to get 100 headshots. That's my task. When I did it, the task came up as complete. Positive feedback loop. I'm satisfied. Or on Minecraft, I wanted to enchant my pickaxe to silk touch so I could stash diamond ores in my bedroom. But I needed to be level 30, so I went down into the caves and mined some coal. I got XP, positive feedback loop. But task books with a checkbox aren't even the most pleasurable form of positive feedback loop I was getting. Anyway, to keep it simple, to stick to work that doesn't reward you often, add a positive feedback loop through a task list. Oh my god, a task list and a checkbox. This makes you feel rewarded. Now let's stack more on top. 2. Habit trackers. A habit tracker is like a video game score sheet, but for real life. I use a piece of paper. I write the habit at the top that I want to make consistent, along with the amount of minimum time I should spend doing it. I draw a bunch of boxes that represent each day, stick it on my wall, and now I have a real life score sheet to become addicted to. I've spoke about habit trackers enough, and I've already got a free course that explains it in extreme detail, so I'll just add that to the materials I'm giving you. Back in 2023, I had an extensive habit tracker that had all of my normal habits listed down, like brushing my teeth, making my bed, working out, and I also had a write script for 5 minutes on there for YouTube. This is more positive feedback loop. I complete 5 to 10 minutes of work for YouTube, I go and check it off daily, great feeling. And 3, the 5-minute checkbox method. Put very simply, if you're struggling to get through editing or writing or anything to do with YouTube, do this. Get a notebook, place it in front of you at your desk, draw 4 to 8 boxes in the notebook. Each box represents either 5 or 10 minutes, it's up to you. Start a timer, and every time you complete the desired time spent working, tick it off. All of these behaviours create positive feedback in your mind and turn working into a more enjoyable activity. Again, your channel is in a place where the natural positive feedback of views, subscribers, and all that is not present yet. So this is the next best thing. Now let's take a look at step 2, which is to reduce the time spent doing the thing. Number 2, reduce the time spent working. Remember how I said a while ago that you need to drop your ego around how long you can actually work for and how disciplined you are? Yep, there's an actual scientific reason for this. When any of us try to start a new behaviour, like working on a channel, our brains have something inside it called limbic friction. Limbic friction is basically your how much effort am I willing to exert to start doing the behaviour part of the brain. Let's say you start working on YouTube right now with a low discipline level, but for an hour or 2 every day. It might be possible, you might get a lot of work done for a bit, but limbic friction will eventually take over because your discipline level does not match the output of work you are producing. So maybe in a week's time you burn out, lose motivation, and just go back to doing nothing. You'll look at the work, but realise there's so much limbic friction between you and taking action that you just won't do it. Why? Because the task is big to you and outside of your current ability. So how do we combat experiencing limbic friction when we want to just fucking work? Reduce the friction by reducing how much time you're going to work for. What's easier to take action on? I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and write my YouTube script. Or I'm going to grind YouTube for 2 hours. Answer, of course, the first one. So, to make this simple, if you want to work more often and more consistently, then reduce the time you say you're going to work for. Again, if you struggle to work every day, if that's not you, then this doesn't apply to you, and I assume you wouldn't be watching this if you can already do the work. Then it's probably because you expect too much of yourself every day. Drop the ego, drop the time you tell yourself you're going to work for. Combine this with the previous step of adding faster positive feedback loops to the work, and it becomes almost impossible to not do the work. 3. Make work the most convenient thing to do. I consider myself fairly lazy, meaning I only really like to do what I feel like doing. Now, on face value, that sounds like a bad trait, but what about discipline? Well, if you allow me to explain, when I say lazy, I really just mean I like structuring my life in a way that the most important work I need to do, either making this or, growing on YouTube, is also the most convenient thing I can do every day. Convenience means to do something without difficulty. The more convenience I add to YouTube work, like posting, recording, and editing, the more likely I do the work. And there's two ways to explode convenience. One, reduce the friction between you and the tools needed to work. All of my important files, my script template, editing software, iMovie, my video ideas file, they're all on my desktop. As soon as I sit down at my desk, everything I need is in my face. And on top of this, there's another thing. Don't start from scratch every time. If you script a lot of videos, have a desktop file that has the template for your scripts. If you come up with video ideas, use the same file every time that is on your desktop. Have a stock footage / B-roll folder ready to pull from at all times when you're editing. How convenient is all of this? Everything is already laid out for you. And number two, increase the friction between you and the tools needed to piss about. The work is on my desktop and nothing else. My music I used to like doing is locked away somewhere dark in a file far away. The same goes for the TV scripts I have fun doing. I can't even remember everything I've moved far away from me because it's just not there. I can't reference what I can't see. But of course, this is just a digital environment. I also do this for my physical environment. I only ever bring my phone to the desk if I need it to log into something like Stripe, like a payment service. Other than that, it's in a different room far away because it stops me from checking it randomly. My entire environment is set up to make the work the most convenient thing possible. I don't know how many of my videos you've seen, but I edit a lot of clips of me into the videos. And all of those clips, because they're work, are in one file, in one folder, divided into different categories of videos like me, passions, vices, girls, friends, and it's on my desktop, easy access. To make it simple, if you want to work more, just make it the most convenient thing you can do. Convenience is kind of like a fun slide that leads you directly in front of your work. If you want to go more extreme, like I do sometimes, I go out less, I say no to more events. There's no secret hack to saying no to people. You just have to get used to saying it, and if they're good friends, they stay because they understand you. If they leave, then you lose nothing. So, combine all three of these things. Artificial positive feedback loops, reduce the time you say you're going to work, make work the most convenient thing to end up at. These three things are what I've done for the last 12 months, and it's served me incredibly well, and still doesn't, except now I've hit some momentum on the channel. I can just work easy anyway. The 1,000 subscriber procrastination hacks. Procrastination is just the act of choosing to do something else that feels easier or more satisfying than the thing you're meant to do. The way I stopped procrastinating was by building my work around that definition. 1, I make the work 100% clear and break it down into stepping stone tasks that mean there's no possibility that I'll be overwhelmed by a huge looking job because I can always just follow the first step. 2, I make work the most convenient thing to do. We've already spoke about this. And 3, I make work the most fun thing to do, and we've already spoke about that as well. So assuming you've implemented or are about to implement the discipline steps from the last section, I'm just going to address number 1. Giving the work 100% clarity, plus breaking the work down into stepping stone tasks that make it easy to take action, even if that action is just 5% of the full work. Have you ever heard of the phrase, "A confused buyer always says no"? If not, I will explain. A website that wants you to buy something, but it has like 50 different buttons all leading to different things, is kind of like being told it's up to you to save a nuclear power plant. Except you walk into the power plant and there's 1,000 buttons. It's overwhelming, it's stressful, and even though you have a task to do, you just can't do it. It's too much. So what's the problem here? When you want to do work that is difficult, it is inherently scary. First point, you're making it scary by not adding clarity to the task itself. If you plan on making a video soon, never write in your task book, "Make video." Make video? What the fuck does that mean? Okay, save nuclear power plant. Land the plane that just got hijacked. Make a course. Make a product. Do you see what I mean? Having such an unclear task slash goal is a recipe for feeling overwhelmed and not doing the work and procrastinating, because you're gonna procrastinate when you don't even know what the fucking work involves. Instead, when you want to make a video, write something like this in your task book. Stepping stones. 1. 5 minutes. Decide on the title. 2. 5 minutes. Experiment with drawing thumbnail ideas. 3. 5 minutes. Start scripting the hook of the video. And so on and so on. You get what I mean? This looks so easy to start doing because it's clear, and it's a probably 2 to 4 hour work task divided into tiny actionable steps. This is always how I write my daily tasks, and I've not struggled with discipline or procrastination for a year now. To make it simple, hard tasks must always be 100% clear and broken down into actionable steps. A confused content creator will always procrastinate, so make everything clear and followable. The productivity tools that got me to 1,000 subscribers. What's the difference actually between productivity and discipline? Discipline is the ability to sit and do the work that feels difficult in your head. Productivity is the techniques you use while working that get you the most results for the least amount of effort. For example, I'm using discipline today to actually sit down and write out this script, record and collect the footage. But I'm using productivity to get this work complete in the most fastest time while also creating the most effective results. Discipline is getting yourself to work. Productivity is the multiplier that makes the work more effective at getting you to 1,000 subscribers. Now that we've established the difference between the two, I actually questioned whether I should make this section, because compared to learning how to just become more disciplined, this is like fairly more, confusing stuff. I promise you, if you implement any of these productivity methods into your YouTube work, you will guaranteed hit 1,000 subscribers, become monetized, and create a cool audience way faster, but it's also going to be complicated to follow. Easy to do once you understand it, but hard to wrap your head around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through every extremely valuable productivity system I've discovered, used, and have helped me to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to elaborate on how to use it for YouTube, and at the end I will give you the link to the book that I got pretty much all of these systems from. There was one book that taught me all of this, and if you spend money on anything else, it should be this book to get you to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, should I hurry up and give you the systems? Yes. 1. Select your most hardest and important task at each moment and get it done first, quickly and well. Doing your hardest and most important tasks, such as creating the video, first thing before everything else, will already put you ahead of everyone. If you wake up and your first action is to change your channel banner, which is irrelevant, I don't see you getting very far. 2. Always set 100% clarity in your goals and tasks. I brought this up earlier, but it really is true. Don't write wishy-washy goals and tasks. Make it measurable, clear, and understandable to a 3-year-old. This will make you procrastinate like 90% less. 3. How to beat 97% of people immediately. Write a clear goal on paper. Only 3% of people do this, apparently. If you don't have a written goal, what is wrong with you? If you're at 100 subscribers and are working up to 200, write that on paper. Reach 200 subscribers. Make the distance between you and the next goal pretty fast to avoid losing motivation. 4. Plan every day in advance. Your mind builds as you sleep. With a task notebook the night before, create a habit of writing out the clear, most important tasks you get to work on tomorrow. And as you sleep, your brain apparently works on ideas and ways to do the work better. So that's a big bonus. 5. The A-B method. Run to 1,000 subscribers. In your task book, to make sure you don't procrastinate on your most important task, use the A-B method. Next to your most important task, put the letter A. If there's 2 important tasks, label the hardest one A1 and the other one A2. If you have other tasks you'd like to get done but aren't as important, label them B1, B2, etc. This stops you from coping and picking the easier work tasks first. 6. Focus on the vital few. Ignore everything else. 20%. We've established that the three most important things you can do to reach 1,000 subscribers is to make the video, A1, come up with video ideas, A2, and learn how to make better videos, B. If you're doing literally anything else apart from building a product, A1, then have fun staying at 20 subscribers. 7. Say no to everything that doesn't move your goal. Creative procrastination. Get used to annoying people, right? Literally just before I started writing again, my brother caught me on the way to the desk and he asked me if I could help him in a couple weeks with some labour work. After about 5 minutes of asking more questions on when it's happening and, feeling really guilty, I said, assume right now that it's a no, but when you get the dates, text me then and I will let you know if I'm available just before. I had to say no. If I didn't, I'd be doing a disservice to my goals. Now, this is obviously dependent on the situation. If a random heavy package shows up at your house and you and your father are the only people at home, you can spare 20 minutes to lift the package. It's not a big deal. 8. Set incredibly short timers to complete the work. Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is the act of setting short timers to get work done more effectively. The theory is that your work expands or shrinks to fill the time you give it. If you give yourself 30 minutes to write up the first draft of a YouTube script, it will get done around that time and probably at a better quality because you had to focus on the most valuable points. If you gave that same script all week to complete it, then you do a lot of random bollocks and start filling your time with random shit like, I don't know, watching self-improvement videos to see how they script videos. That's kind of a waste. Just write the script in a short time window and it always ends up pretty good. 9. If you have completed your most important work, don't just fill the time with nothing. If your tasks today were to complete a video and get it posted, and it only took a few hours and now you have the entire rest of the day free, don't use it to start doing bullshit. If you're going to do anything to fill that time, make sure it's actually productive, like learning how to make better videos or coming up with new ideas. 10. Stepping stones, goal and tasks. If your current goal is to get 1,000 subscribers and you're currently at 500, put stepping stones on your goal sheet, like get to 550, get to 600, get to 650, and so on, all the way to 1,000. Again, this stops you from losing motivation because you're always making measurable progress on the way. I do this at the moment for every 250 subscribers. 50, 50, 50, 50, you get what I mean? Recently, that feels like crack, I'll be honest. 11. Identify your key constraints often. The constraint journal. Something I did around May time to improve my videos quicker was to do something called a constraint journal. Every day I would open up a Word file, put in the date, and just write a few short lines quickly on what I felt my current constraint on YouTube was. This helped me figure out faster what I should be learning to improve rather than picking random stuff. And again, a constraint is just an anchor on a boat. What is the anchor stopping your videos from reaching more people? 12. Keep your phone out the room. Self-explanatory. Even the presence of your phone is scientifically proven to be distracting. Even when you can't see it, just get it out of the room completely and work feels a lot easier. 13. Do it first thing in the morning. Literally. Nothing else. Like I alluded to earlier, the most productive time of the day is the first couple hours after waking. Whether it's 5 AM or 2 PM, it doesn't matter. If you really want to make work feel easy, do it a few minutes after waking. 14. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And this is the book I learned every single productivity system from. And by the way, I'm not just regurgitating it off the pages of the book. I've lived with these techniques for a year now, and I still do them, and they helped me get to 4,000 subscribers. So this book really is worth investing in because he can explain it probably way better than me. Actionable steps. To make sure you're actually gaining value from this course, I'm going to break down 8 actionable steps I want you to take right now to ensure that you become more disciplined, procrastinate less, and hit 1,000 subscribers fast through consistently improving content. Here are your actionable steps, and I really don't know what you're doing if you don't do these right now. You want to get better, right? Thank you for listening to this course. You are a disciplined genius now.